gave her what she wanted. So I'm a 17 male and I got my first job recently, thanks to the PPL who gave me advice during my first interview. I work as a kitchen staff in a dessert store selling cookie doughs, waffles, ice cream, churros, etc. So the store works from 1 p.m. until midnight because people crave sugar at night, so it gets extremely busy from evening till night. I work during the evenings and it is very, very busy. There will be an insane amount of tickets for delivery and in house orders, so there's usually like 3 or 4 people in the kitchen, but yesterday I was alone with the owner. One of the kitchen staff is on holiday, and the others caught COVID. They're brothers. So I and the owner had to handle the kitchen alone. And luckily the owner was extremely fast with his hands and feet, so we were barely able to keep up with the orders until comes I don't know what to name her, so I'm just gonna go with Karen. Karen came alone and ordered a ridiculous order I didn't expect. But before that, and this is what my coworker told me, and I got permission to tell her side. Karen came into the store and demanded she is seated in one of the booths that's for groups. Reason because is that the seats are more comfortable, and I actually agree on that part, but it was annoying for my coworker because she's busy and the other front house member is late, so she's the only one in front of house, and the store is bustling with customers and orders, but she just let it slide and let Karen sit at the booths. Throughout the service, Karen kept annoying my coworker with stupid questions such as, does the strawberry waffle have strawberry? Or, what chocolate does the Nutella waffle has? Etc., etc. Even when my coworker is in the middle of talking to another customer, Karen will rudely interrupt and ask her more stupid questions to the point my coworker had to go to the back room to calm down before coming back out with a forced smile. Anyway, then she made the ridiculous order that made the whole evening go to shit. This was her exact order. Chocolate Loco crepe with strawberries and red velvet cookie dough on top. On top. She also got a milkshake, which was dumb as well, but she didn't cause an issue over it. It was a Skittle milkshake, but she only wants the red Skittles. We put in red food dye to make it look like it was blended with only the red Skittles. At first, when I read the ticket, I thought there was an error or something, and that it was meant to be 2 separate orders. So I confirmed it with my coworker. Me. Hey, did you make a mistake or something? CW. Nope. That's what she wants. She wants the cookie dough on top. I was so confused, but whatever. If it's what the customer wants, it's what they want. But here's the kicker. There's a small window from the kitchen to the front house. We use the window to communicate and send orders. There's also the group booths in front of the window. Karen was sitting there watching. She heard us and approached us knowing that we were talking about her order. Karen, excuse me, I want my order to be thoroughly oven cooked. I don't want it raw, or it'll give me an upset stomach. I thought she was talking about the cookie dough because we cook them in the oven, so I just nodded. Me. No problem. I'll make sure the cookie dough is thoroughly cooked, ma'am. Karen. And the crepe? Me. Oh, yes, it'll be cooked as well. Karen. Oven baked. Right? Me. What? Karen. You're going to oven bake the crepe, right? Because if you don't, I won't be able to eat it. Me. We don't cook the crepes in the oven. Karen. Well, I want it oven baked. Me. Sorry, ma'am, but the crepe will burn if we put it in the oven. They're frozen, so we just put them in the microwave to heat it up.
Karen. I don't mind if it's a bit crispy. I just want it oven baked, okay? And put them together, otherwise it won't taste as good. She said this, and finally sat down at her booth. Here's the thing. The crepe takes like at most a minute to heat up in the microwave, whilst the cookie dough take like 2 to 3 minutes to cook. The crepe will be pitch black if it's put together with the cookie dough. At first, I thought of putting the crepe and cookie dough in separate plates/bowls to cook them at different times, and then put them on the same plate once it is both cooked. So that's what I did. Cooked them both in the oven, placed them on the same plate, drizzled some milk and white chocolate, sprinkled some chocolate curls with ice cream, and sent it out. Karen got the order, and I saw her look at it with disgust. I didn't hear what she said because there's music blasting out loud. People are talking and children are running about, but I can tell my coworker was having a hard time as Karen looked like she was yelling at her. My coworker came to the window and she looked pissed. CW. Karen complained and said the cookie dough and crepe are clearly not cooked together. Since the cookie dough was cooked in a bowl, we had to scrape it out and pour it onto the crepe, so it was obvious. The owner who saw what was going on chimed in and had this really wicked grin. Owner, OP, go make it exactly the way she wants it. Since the orders have calmed down, I'll personally give the order to her. Me, sure, okay then. So I did. Got a plate with the crepes, bashed on the cookie dough on top, and placed it in the oven for 2.5 minutes, and voila. A pitch-black crepe and well-cooked cookie dough. The owner picked the plate up and handed it to her. Since the other front-of-house member finally came, I and coworker watched from afar and watched the stunned face of an annoying bitch who seems outraged that she got her order exactly the way she wanted it. Again, we couldn't hear because of the noise, but we still enjoyed her stupid expressions, as my boss was having none of her stupid nonsense. My boss is a firm but chill guy. He doesn't take shit from anyone, so he enjoys taking the piss out of people like her. So she marched out and began yelling. Karen, I'm never coming back here again to this stupid place! And left just like that. Me and coworker laughed like two hyenas, knowing the bitch got what she deserved.
Story 2. From entitled parents to entitled husband. This is a throwaway Reddit, and I'm on mobile, so sorry for formatting. I'm the eldest child in my family. My parents, as people separated from the other, are good people, but together, they are a nightmare. As far as I can remember, they used to and are still fighting 98% of the time. Mostly about money. What that meant is that my brothers and I were the true victims. For example, buying new clothes used to be a one-outfit-a-year thing. Mostly they used to dress me in my cousin's hand-me-downs or buy me clothes from thrift store. While at the same time they used to buy multiple new outfits for themselves. And the reason is that one wanted the other to buy for the kids. Until we ended in cheap or second-hand clothes as a guilt trip for the other spouse. While I was 9, they had my youngest brother, and I was expected to take care of him because one of them was always sleeping outside of the house because of a blowout. When I turned 14, I purposely got bad grades, so they had to put me in a revision academy after school. That was the only way I could get time for myself. 8 a.m. to midday in school, back home for lunch between 12 and 2 p.m., school from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., a quick 30-minute stop at home, then revision from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. For the next 4 years, the only time I spent with them was to eat only. Then I went to college in another city, as far away as I can. 5 years later, I got a job in a different city from theirs, even though they were trying to pressure me to move back in to help with expenses and housework. Apparently, my mom was too old to do everything by herself. All I did was send them some money each month to get them off my back and suffer a 3 weeks vacation they spent in my house each summer since I lived in a touristy city. I made sure to be working so I could spend minimum time with them. Fast forward a couple of years, and then I meet this wonderful guy. Or at least he seemed to be. We got along. He was supportive when I told him about how my upbringing traumatized me. We got married and had a baby girl. It appears that that was all he needed. He started staying out late, and whenever I tried to discuss it, he would throw a tantrum that would scare my baby. I would back down because I didn't want my kid to grow up in the same environment I grew up in. Then I caught him cheating when my kid turned 5. All he would say was, "Do you want your daughter to end up like you?" At the time, that was my biggest fear. So I took a couple of days to think it through and decided to put my kid's happiness over mine. I sat him down and said, "Let's make a deal. Each month you give me this much money. His part of the mortgage, a couple bills, food expenses, and an amount to save for my daughter's future. Have dinner with us, at least 4 times a week. Attend your daughter's important events, and keep sleeping in the same bed as me. In exchange, I won't ever ask you what you do with the rest of your money, who you are dating, or whatever else you want. You don't have to consult me on your life, and I won't consult you on mine. We will be co-parents, and as soon as she graduates high school, we will divorce. No more romance, no more sex, and no more talking about meaningful things." He was happy, and he stuck to our deal. As soon as my kid was off to college, we signed the divorce papers and were done with the whole thing. I moved to a city close to my daughter's college, but not the same one. Wanted her to get the whole experience. Finally started going to therapy and getting back my happiness. Now he is regretful or whatever, keeps asking for my forgiveness and to get back together. That he will treat me right, and that he finally figured out how good he had it with me. Apparently, he was too young to be married when we first met, and that rushing into marriage was the problem, not the manipulation, cheating, and gaslighting. Then my parents expected me to move in with them and take care of them in their old age. All I did was get them a caretaker that I pay each month, call them once a week, and visit them for a couple hours every other month. They say that they are disappointed in me and that they didn't raise me to be a selfish woman. All I say is that I am super busy with a career and that as soon as I can I will move in with them, which is a lie. I just don't want to get into a discussion with them. They might not be as overtly entitled as the norm on this community, but their entitlement was more toxic than others.